Welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Our mission is to share what we have learned from our experience and the experience of others to help you make more money investing like a pro. We want to teach you how to create wealth by investing in real estate the Discount Property Investor way. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. Thanks for tuning in.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. Your host, David Dodge, with co-host Mike Slane. Mike, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, Dave? I'm doing pretty
buddy?
good. I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great today, man.
Good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I got a good topic for us today, man. We're going to talk about pro tips.
Okay.
Today, and we're gonna have
to find a pro.
I would definitely call you a pro. That's right.
We got a couple pro. I'd call you a pro,
brother. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we've been doing it full time for a few years together, and I think we've enjoyed what we're doing. It doesn't always feel like we're pros. You know, sometimes you're caught with your pants down, and we want to help you guys avoid that.
Yes,
and that's why we like to chat about real estate. One, because we do real estate full time. And it's fun for us, but we also like to take a break from actually going out there and doing the real estate and just chatting. So let's talk about some of the stuff that we're doing and some of the tips that we have. Dave, you're calling them pro tips. Let's talk about some of the pro tips we've got today.
So Mike and I, we just made a quick short list, guys, and there's lots of other things that we could obviously mention. And maybe we'll come up with another one or two while we're talking about these.
I know you, Dave. You're going to.
I know.
You say I'm going to give you 5, you're going to give them 8.
Yeah, that's right. So we came up with some pro tips, and I think this is going to be really helpful for anybody and everybody that is new to real estate investing. You know, Mike and I combined, we've done about 1,000 transactions at this point, Mike. I don't even think we've even said that before, but we're probably right there. You know, 950 to 1,000.
Yeah, it's a lot,
give or take. You know,
it's a lot of paperwork.
All of us, or you and me combined, plus you and me individual, we got to be at about 1,000 at this point. So, I would call you a pro, man. You are a pro.
Hey. It's, nothing I take lightly.
You are a pro, man.
I'm a professional.
All right, let's jump in, guys. So, number one, pro tip number one, business days. Why do I say that? Well, business days and days are two different things altogether. So, when you are sending a contract to somebody and you are asking for an inspection period, use the word business behind the word days. Can't make this any simpler for you, because let's say you ask for 10 days of inspections. Well, 10 days is 10 days. That's pretty straightforward. But 10 business days is 14 days. So by adding in that one word, business, behind days, you are buying yourself 40% more time to inspect. This is probably one of my faves. So, pro tip number one, guys, use the word business when you are getting an inspection period behind days to buy yourself 40% more time. Great
tip.
That's
a good one, man. I like it. I like it. All right, next one on our list here is always make the offer. So this is super important because we go on a lot of appointments and we'll get into the habit. Even myself and Dave, we do it all the time. We'll go on an appointment and be like, we're so far off. That seller wanted way more than we were expecting. We thought they were motivated. Turns out they want retail plus some. And our offer is below retail. So again, if they're looking at, we think our house is worth 400, and yeah, we know it needs 20 grand worth of work when it really needs about 50. So they're like, we're willing to take, what did I start with, 400? We're willing to take 380. Don't worry about it. Well, guess what? We don't pay retail. So we have to use the MAO formula. We've got to buy these things at a discount, minus the repairs, minus a fee if we're going to wholesale it. We're almost always looking at about half.
It ends up being between
property.
50 and 65 cents on the dollar.
That's where you can buy to actually make money. So again, it's crazy. It's crazy that the transactions happen at that lump like that. That for me, it blew my mind. It was like, nobody buys houses at 50 cents on the dollar. It doesn't happen. You buy it on the MLS and then you fix it up, and in 20 years it'll be worth more. Well, no, you have to buy at a discount. I'm getting off topic. The point is always make the offer.
Always.
Okay, so why is that important? Because quite frankly, motivation changes. So someone who's not motivated today might be motivated tomorrow. And I'm not talking about just one day. I'm talking about 3, 5, 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. Again, you don't know what's happening in that seller's life, and they're not always the most candid. Your objective, make a friend, and then make an offer. Super important.
Love it.
We do it over the phone. Even if we don't go on appointments, we try to always make an offer. We beat it into the heads of all of our assistants. You got to make an offer. Anybody who's on the phones, you got to make an offer. We always want to make an offer. It's super important, because if you don't, you're not even allowing yourself the opportunity to buy the house. So you're cheating yourself. Make the offer.
Marketing is done to give you the opportunity to run an appointment or make an offer, or both. So if you're going to spend money marketing and then you don't make the offer, you might as well stop spending money on marketing. Even if the person that wants to sell is wanting way more. Like Mike said, you got to make the offer. Mike, you did that. I like that pro tip. You did good with that one. All right, the next one here is go the extra mile. And the reason that I have this as a pro tip is because those people that are going to remain consistent and are persistent, or am I saying that word right? Persistent, right?
Persistent.
Are going to be the ones that are going to have success. They're going to be the ones that win. And ultimately, they're going to be the ones that are doing deals and getting paid. And one of the examples of go the extra mile that I really, really like is when you are trying to reach a seller and you're not having luck, or would be a better way to word that, you already have a seller's contact information, but they're ducking you. You can't reach them for whatever reason. Go the extra mile. Don't stop. Continue to be persistent. Mike, there was a deal that we did a couple of years back, and it's just this one that just comes to mind, but I know there's probably 50 that are similar to this.
Yeah, sure. So Dave is persistent, and sometimes you're very confident, right? So sometimes that comes across to people as
arrogance.
It's too strong.
Sure.
And this lady was just ducking Dave, wouldn't answer his calls.
She didn't like me.
Would not return his call, whatever. So I reached out to her on LinkedIn. I just Googled her and tried to find another way to contact her. Found her on LinkedIn, sent her a message, said, hey, I know my partner's reaching out to you, blah, blah, blah. You know, if there's something I can do to help, let me know. And she reached out to me. We were able to buy the house. We were able to wholesale it, make a profit. So just like be persistent, be consistent.
Yeah.
Like Dave's saying, I got another one on this one though, Dave.
Yeah, please.
Because you are the master at this.
Okay.
And again, it goes into making friends as well with your sellers. Bruce.
Oh, that's another pro tip though.
Jeez.
Yeah, buddy. All right, no problem.
But again, going the extra mile, you filed this guy's taxes for him.
I did. Yeah.
You helped him get 3 or 5 years back taxes filed, so that we could prove that he didn't have this giant tax lien that they said that federal tax lien, so that he was able to take some of the money and with the house sale.
That's exactly right.
So again, it's going the extra mile. That ties in, I think, to making a friend too.
It does. That's one and the same, essentially. Yeah, definitely. But guys, go the extra mile. Don't discount social media. We all spend lots of time. I would go as far as say as the average person spends at least an hour a day on social media. So if you're not getting through to them via phone or email, use socials to connect with them. And then last but not least, if you've already run an appointment, you've already made an offer, and you're getting ducked, you can't connect with that person, drive over to their house and knock on the door if you have to. Go the extra mile. It means a lot. All right, the next one, number 4 here. Use CYA clauses in your contracts to cover your ass. That's what CYA means. So a couple quick ones, based on my partner's approval. Well, your partner could be your friend, it could be your spouse, it could be your business partner, it could be your cat or your dog, it could be anybody. By just saying partner, it's broad, it's bland, it's widespread, it could be anybody.
Now, I like to define partner a little bit more specifically, especially when you're a wholesaler. And I mean specifically in my brain, so that if somebody asks me about it, it's legit. Yeah. And again, Dave wasn't saying anything not legit, but totally. What I'm saying is,
it's a good point.
My partner is going to be my end buyer. That's my partner on that deal. Mm-hmm. So again, that's kind of how I frame it in my world, that I think it's 100% ethical to do, because you are a cash buyer and you are shopping for deals and you are working with other investors who are going to be the end buyer.
Correct.
So again, that's kind of the way I look at partners approval for those wholesalers out there. Yeah, I don't know.
Mike, give me a couple other CYAs. I know that, like, obviously an inspection period kind of goes without saying. Another one I like is based upon or contingent upon verifying taxes, title, and value. Value is one of those things that is like subjective, or I don't know the difference between subjective and objective, but you know what I mean there. Like, it's one of those things that's, again, it's broad,
it's
right?
subjective.
It's subjective.
Because it depends on that.
I'm learning
particular
things here.
So objective means like anybody could come in and see it, and it's like objectively false, or that's
got it. But
that's
subjective
like
is more of like a
personal opinion.
thing. So value,
subject to your opinion.
Oh, I'm learning things here today. This is great. So value is one of those things that's subjective, because everybody's going to have a different value depending on what they want to do with it.
But Dave, what about appraisers? They're going to come in and tell us the right value.
That's right.
That's true.
It's their opinion, though, too.
It's their opinion again. So you've got subjective stuff coming into play. What comps they pull, how they look at the house. So it is very, very subjective.
Right. And then a couple others, guys, super simple, like, roof inspection. That's a CYA clause. A sewer inspection. That's a CYA clause.
And this is one we use all the time. We have to get the sewer looked at. That is the one thing, Mr. Seller, that I can't see while I'm standing here. I can't see what's down in those pipes.
That's exactly right.
And that could cost thousands of dollars.
So why use CYA clauses? Well, guys, if you use CYA clauses, you have outs. And if you have outs, that should eliminate the fear of you making the offer in the first place. One of the things Mike and I see almost daily with our students, right, is they're excited to get into the business. They're excited to start marketing. They're excited to run appointments. But they're not necessarily making the offer because they're afraid that when they send that contract that they're going to be obligated to have to buy that property. And that is just not true. If you have a CYA clause or clauses, and for whatever reason you can't find that partner, or they won't let you do that sewer scope, or whatever it is, you can exit that contract both legally and ethically because you put it in the beginning. So that's a good one. That's number 4. Number 5 was make a friend, and
we did start talking about.
We talked about that, but I want to just dive deep on this just for a second, guys. I am not good at sales. I will be the first to admit. But what I am good at is getting out and shaking people's hands and listening, even though I talk a lot. I know this. But I am good at listening to a seller when they're telling me a sad story or a story that's, not a fun one. And I'm good at looking people in the eye. And I'm good at shaking hands. And I'm good at building rapport, which basically means you get somebody to know you, like you, and trust you. Well, guys, if you are just trying to do this over the phone, getting somebody to know you is relatively easy. Getting them to like you, well, that's up to you. But getting them to trust you is a whole different ball game. And the best way that I've found to get somebody to trust you is to make a friend with them. Literally. And you can do that on the phone. You can do that in the field on the appointment. But I always like to try to make an appointment and go out and meet somebody in person, shake their hand, look them in the eye. It's going to be the easiest way to do the 3 things of rapport building. Know, like, and trust. And again, I like to sum this up into one simple statement, guys. Make a friend with the seller. You don't need all these, tips and tricks on how to negotiate if you can make a friend. People want to do business with people that they are friends with, period. So that's it. Don't overthink it. Make a friend. It is going to be more valuable than any sales course, book, podcast that you can listen to. I promise you. Focus on making a friend and you will be just fine. And then we got one more, Mike. You're going to be good at this one here.
Follow up.
Oh, I love that one.
So follow up. Why? Why do you have to follow up with people? Dave, I just want to go make offers and get deals under contract. Well, because we have been doing this together for almost 7 years.
Probably closer to 8.
We've been doing this for almost 8 years. And we are averaging, our average deal takes about 6 months, 4 to 6 months from the time we talk to the person to the time we close the deal. So that means we've had several deals that have gone on for years. 3 to 4 years.
5, 6, 7.
Well, now we're exaggerating.
No. We've had deals 5, 6 years.
Have we had 7 years? Have we had a 7 year?
Maybe not 7.
We had a really long one recently.
We just did one that was like 5.5 years. We just had one under contract that we actually had to exit. Thank God for our CYA clauses. That was a 5-year deal.
Wow.
Down in Soulard. 5 years.
Oh, was it that one?
5 years we were following up with this guy.
We still might be able to get it closed.
We still might, and we're still working on that, in fact. But follow up, Mike said it great. 4 to 6 months is the average amount of time that it takes Mike and I, and I guess you could say we're pros, right? I would say so.
We think we're pros.
We
said it at the beginning of the episode. We think each other are pros.
There you go. And it takes us 4 to 6 months. Now, that doesn't mean that every single deal that comes in is 4 to 6 months. What that means is the average deal. So, Mike, what would you say out of 10? 8, maybe 9 deals out of 10 are going to require some level of follow-up?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe even all 10.
I would say all deals require
at
follow-up.
least some.
Literally every deal. Even if somebody says, yeah, I want to sell. Well, okay, great.
Great. When can I meet you? Well, you should follow up before the appointment. You should follow up after the appointment.
Man, that's a really good point.
Send the offer, follow up. Did you get the offer? Do you have any questions about the offer?
I think following up before the appointment is important.
They sell you the deal, you follow up.
Are we still meeting in an hour?
Yeah.
1, it saves you the drive time if they're like, oh, no, I can't make it.
All of it.
And 2, it's like you're confirming and letting them know you're coming to their house. Because some people, it's kind of weird. They're having somebody come into their house. So again, follow up, dude. It's important on every aspect of the sales process.
100%. So guys, 1 or 2 deals out of 10, we're going to be able to get relatively quickly. But the other 8 or 9 are going to take 4 to 6 months. So if you just think about this for a second, if we stopped following up, we would essentially do 80 to 90% less deals. That is a crazy high statistic.
We would not still be here after 7 years
Not
together.
at all.
I
Not
promise
at all.
you that.
But that's one of the things that we are really good at. And we have a team that helps us with that. But following up is so incredibly important, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode about pro tips, guys. We talked about 6 of them today. Use business days as a way to increase your inspection period by, I was going to say 60, by 40%. That's still a huge number. Number 2, always make the offer. Don't throw money into marketing if you're not going to make the offer. And by the way, you can make an offer a lot of ways. You can do it verbally. You can do it via email. You can bring contracts with you and put them in your trunk and make offers that way. You can leave an offer on a voicemail, but just don't not make the offer. Always make the offer. Number 3, go the extra mile. Use social media, follow up, make a friend, lots of different ways. Don't stop though. Be consistent and be persistent. Number 4, use CYA clauses. Love this one. That should hopefully help prevent any fear that you have of being obligated to buy by sending a contract. These CYA clauses give you time, and they essentially give you the right to buy, but not the obligation. Think of it like a stock option in a way. CYA clauses give you the right, but not the obligation, as long as you do what you say you're going to do and you put those CYA clauses in your contract. Number 5, make a friend. Love that one. Can't harp on that one enough. And then number 6, follow up, guys. 4 to 6 months is the average time that it takes for a lead to come into our system and for us to buy that deal to wholesale, burr, fix and flip, whatever it is that we may do. So if you are not consistent and you are not following up, you are essentially leaving 80 to 90% of the deals on the table. Mike, I know you got one more thing for us, man, then we're going to wrap up.
One more thing.
Some parting words. Parting words, buddy. What you got, man?
You make your money when you buy. You get paid when you sell. We oftentimes get so hungry for deals. Like right now, we try to offer too much, but you have to remember you're an investor. Stay level-headed. You want to buy when others are selling, sell when others are buying, all those little sayings. But yeah, you definitely make your money when you buy. So make sure you're buying right, guys.
Man, that was great. Love it.
Good work. All
right, guys, signing off. Thanks for listening. There was 7 pro tips, not 6, but 7. Write them down. Listen to this twice if you have to. Those 7 things that we just mentioned will help you tremendously to do more deals and to make more money in this crazy business that we call real estate investing. Signing off. Thanks for listening to the Discount Property Investor Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to help us reach a wider audience. To jumpstart your real estate investing career, visit freewholesalecourse.com, the most complete free course on wholesaling real estate ever. We would also appreciate it if you left us a review on iTunes or Stitcher. Thank you in advance for your support. And remember, you make your money when you buy, you get paid when you sell. Now let's go build some wealth.